The sadistic narcissist. Many narcissistic individuals can have that sadism, they can have that sadistic side to them, and then you can have the extreme of the malignant narcissist, which is a term I believe was coined by Eric Fromm, which isn't an official diagnosis, but the malignant displays so many other personality disorders within the narcissism and some of the dark triad disorders, that they are some of the most dangerous people you could possibly encounter. When it comes to narcissistic individuals, they have that sense of grandiosity, they seek that admiration and excessive attention, they lack the empathy for others, they display a range of behaviours. And one of the most dangerous and the most disturbing is when they get pleasure out of your pain due to their lack of empathy and their sadism. Sadism is to derive pleasure from another person's suffering. They enjoy inflicting pain onto, they will go all out to inflict pain and suffering and humiliate others, and they will get pleasure out of doing so and the pleasure out of other people's reactions. When it comes to a sadistic narcissist, they have a complete lack of empathy. They get great delight in causing other people pain, emotional, physical or psychological. And they don't have any form of remorse or understanding, which leads them to the most cruel and callous behaviour towards other people. They use manipulation, they use emotional manipulation in order to get their needs met. They gaslight again without remorse to inflict confusion onto those around them. And these often are aware of the game that they are playing. They get a great delight out of manipulating a situation. They know full well they said something, but they enjoy telling you that they didn't, and they enjoy watching the confusion on your face. If they feel like you've slighted them in some way, they will go all out to provoke jealousy within you. And then when you go to communicate with them about this, they will get great delight out of gaslighting you and accusing you of being the one who is jealous of them. It makes them feel better about who they are as a person. They will be some of the most insensitive people you could ever meet because they lack the empathy. So they will have those cruel overt jibes directly towards you to cause you the maximum pain. And when you speak out, they'll accuse you of being too sensitive or overreacting to the situation. And they will delight in your reactions. They will delight in you trying to explain and justify yourself to them. They have some of the cruelest humour of a person you could ever be around. This isn't someone who's sarcastic. This isn't someone who enjoys making comedy to try and make light of the hideous world that we can live in at times. This is somebody who gets pleasure out of watching you suffer, and they will use the cruelest of humour to watch you suffer. And they can be smug about it. They can just accuse you of overreacting, or they can play the game of, oh, I'm only joking. What's wrong with you? Can't you take a joke? To try and wind you up and get a reaction out of you, all the more because that reaction is feeding them the attention that they believe that they're entitled to. They lack remorse. They will happily rationalise and minimalise their behaviour if they believe they need to cover their backs, if they believe that they need to avoid any form of consequences. They will excuse their behaviour, anything but take responsibility, because they usually don't believe they've done anything wrong. They have that excessive need for control, and they use pervasive patterns of behaviour in order to exploit people and manipulate people. They have that excessive need for dominance over other people. They will happily use threats and intimidation and even physical force in order to remain in control of the situation. Now, they can use threats and intimidation where you can't quite work out whether they mean it or not. However, you have to sort of sense the environment you're in. And when you're around a sadistic narcissist or a narcissist that displays sadism, they do mean it. They might say it in a cruel, joking, light-hearted manner in order to get you to question and doubt yourself. However, they are looking for that dominance and that control. They will happily violate each and every one of your boundaries with no remorse, because they simply lack the empathy to have the understanding of those boundaries. Your boundaries to a narcissistic individual are game on, and a sadistic one will want to punish you for daring to set a boundary against them, because they believe that they're entitled to do as they please, and you've offended them by stating that boundary, so they seek to punish you, and they get pleasure out of punishing you, and it makes them feel better about themselves. They will frequently cross your boundaries. They will invade your personal space and accuse you of the one who is being the problem. They have a complete disregard for any form of consent. They use coercive and controlling behaviour in order to get their needs met, and they lack the concern for other people's welfare. Try and point out the concern for other people's welfare, and they'll accuse you of the one who is causing problems. They will have a history of violence. They will have a track record of bullying and intimidating people, using aggression against other people, be it the direct overt aggression or passive aggressive aggression, such as silent treatments and sulking. They will use both physical and emotional violence, because they have a complete disregard for the safety or the feelings of those around them. They're simply looking to try and get their needs met, and they get the pleasure out of your suffering. If you're not living life on their terms, they are going to go all out to make you pay, and that makes them feel better about themselves. And you have to be incredibly careful around these kinds of people, because they lack the empathy to care. Therefore, there's no low they won't go, so long as they can find a way to avoid consequences for their actions. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through, or any signs of sadism that you noticed within a narcissistic individual. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon: 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People If You Cannot Go No Contact, a Narcissists Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, and a book on how to create boundaries around those who have no understanding of your boundaries. If you'd like to take a look at those, they'll be in the video description also. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day.